you so nice. I feel you thinking about me. I hear your name in the breeze. You're all that I see. The birds singing melodies. Just remember you're all that I breathe. Remember all around me. The ocean, the sun, and the trees.
Oh, you're so sweet, I swear. Te mando un besito.
All right, cool. We're on Disco Acid Cult TV. What's up, Protomax? I'm late tonight. I was completely unprepared for tonight. I only had one plan for tonight, and even then, I was completely unprepared. I had to edit a little bit of a video, and even then, I didn't even get to edit it as much as I wanted to. Yeah, all I have going for tonight is the Cyrus thing. I was gonna make a video about it itself, but I don't know. I thought it might be more fun to just do it live. Just kind of watch the entire compilation of stories. It's like 15 minutes straight of Instagram stories, and it's from last week too. This bit's still been going on. Like he's still been posting like this. Even right now on his Instagram, there's it kind of seems like there's a conclusion like to where he's going with all this. I don't know. We'll get to it. Next week on Wednesday, I guess this is I get to say like I'm doing housekeeping on the channel. Next week on Wednesday, I'm probably not going to be streaming because I'm going to be doing an interview with a Los Angeles based singer, and that's going to be pretty cool. That's not going to be live. I'm going to record that just in case I want to edit it or anything, you know. First time, you know, it'll be like the first time I've ever talked to this person in a way that's not just emailing. So, you know, I guess in case we run into any kind of awkward shit, I can edit it out or whatever. But I'll have that uploaded, you know, as soon as I can after it's done. This artist did mention that she does like doing live streams, and she said she's down to live stream too. So I'm gonna try to convince her to. I floated the idea out to her. If the interview on Wednesday goes well, I told her I will definitely drag her onto a live stream. So, yeah, it might be more than just the interview that I get with her. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm gonna see how it goes. We'll see how it goes on Wednesday. I pretty much said, you know, if we have a good time, we'll think about live streaming. I just think live streaming with this singer in particular would be fun because I think about Fizz, chat regular. I don't think he's here right now, but he might show up later. Chat regular Fizz, I think, would probably show up and talk some friendly shit to this particular singer. I mean, I think Fizz talks shit to anybody and everybody. So, but yeah, anyways, that's it. Doing an interview next week, and I will edit that and then have it up as soon as I can. So yeah, I guess I'll just get right into the plan for this week. Cyrus for Metro Station. Right, I'm sure everybody remembers Metro Station. Everybody knows the song Shake It. Metro Station was like fucking huge when I was in high school. You know, I think Shake It is still probably one of, you know, it realistically, it is probably one of the most popular pop songs of all time. That song was fucking huge when it came out. I don't know if it's in this string of stories that I'm going to play, but Trace on his Instagram did mention, he said, I still get money sent to me in the mail every month for Shake It, which came out, I think, in 2007. So, yeah, the guy is pretty much in a position where I think he can do whatever he wants. You know, I mean, even if he wasn't in Metro Station, he is a Cyrus. You know, he is Billy Ray Cyrus's son, Miley Cyrus's brother, all the other Cyrus's brother or whatever. But it's not like he's even really like mooching off of that name. He's just kind of, I would say, doing just fine because of an accomplishment back in 2007. I think people talk a lot of shit about one-hit wonders, and I'm not saying Metro Station was a one-hit wonder. I will say they were definitely a one-album wonder, I would say. But Shake It was not their only big song. You know, they had 17 Forever, that was also big. They had Kelsey, they had Control. That whole first album was really a perfect album as far as pop music goes, and as far as the even more specifically the whole MySpace neon pop niche that I talk about all the time. That album was a perfect album. It's 10 songs, no skips. They're all perfect songs. They're all great pop songs. So he's going to be just fine no matter what. But it looks like he's, you know, going to start doing some of his own things. He's had some solo runs and also like a Metro Station reunion, which, let's be real, the stuff they put out later on was nowhere near as good as the first album. When I was in high school, I did listen to Cyrus had a very short-lived solo career that he called Ashland High, and I did listen to that, although that wasn't the greatest. He had a song called Jealous Lover that I, back then thought was fine. Nowadays, I'm sure I couldn't listen to at all. But then he had a song called, I think it was like Sipping on I can't even fucking, what a tongue twister. It was called like Sipping on Sunshine. I swear to God, he had a song called Sipping on Sunshine. And that was kind of where I drew the line. And, his stuff is very hit or miss. He has a teaser out on his Instagram right now called Cry Your Eyes Out. And that song sounds like it could be really cool. But then he did also recently release one of those like trendy country hip hop songs that everybody's been doing, like Post Malone. It seems like he tried to do one of those. It's called like Cowgirl Ride. And look, let's just be honest, that song's awful. It's a terrible song. Cyrus's Cowgirl Ride is a really bad song. So it's really funny. In some of these stories, he talks about how he's like an undeniable superstar and he's got all these labels that he thinks would be desperate to sign him. And he's better than everybody today. And I'm like, dude, if you're talking about Cowgirl Ride, I wouldn't be that confident. But I am glad that he's confident, I guess, nonetheless. I think he mentions Machine Gun Kelly, which, if he's going to compare himself to MGK, I'll say anybody's better than Machine Gun Kelly. But I think yeah, I'm just gonna play these clips. We're gonna start getting into it. I don't really know. Like, some people are saying this is a crash out. It's very hard to classify. He's had drinking problems. I think he's been sober for about 2 years. Some people are saying, what is he drinking again? I don't think so, because he doesn't seem to be drunk. Basically, sometime last week, this all started. This is the first thing I remember. This very small comment he made. Somebody commented something. I only managed to grab this one screenshot. Somebody commented something about Brenda Song leaving him. Remember, Cyrus was married to Brenda Song for a little bit. They were either married for like a little bit or dating for a long time. Whatever, they were together. And somebody says, now I know why Brenda left. Good riddance. And I think he's saying that, like, Trace is obviously off his rocker, and that's why Brenda left. Well, then Cyrus comes out and just fucking crazy shit says, yes, because she stole thousands of dollars from me and faked multiple pregnancies and lied about being terminally ill to make my family and I think she had breast cancer and a brain tumor. It was all a lie. She was humiliated to ever show her face around my family again. Once we figured it out and my mom confronted her and cussed her out, I can't read from this far, and called her out on all of it. Thanks for reminding me of another scenario where I was a great, loving person and someone did me wrong for no reason. And then he goes on to say, she also faked an abortion with fake blood covering the bathroom floor, and my mom and I rushed her to the OBGYN. That's when all the lies started unraveling and we realized it was fake. I don't know that much about Brenda Song, but that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, we've all known some crazy girls, but like covering your bathroom in fake blood, that's like a whole different level of dedication. That one, I don't know that I can believe that completely. Like, I would like to think the truth is somewhere in the middle. Maybe she did fake a pregnancy. Maybe she did do some crazy girl shit. But like I said, even the craziest of women is not covering your bathroom in fake blood to fake an abortion or a miscarriage or whatever he said. And faking a brain tumor. There was another story where Trace describes that situation, and he says that she showed up to his family's house with like bandages all around her head, and Trace straight up yanked the bandages off her head and called her out on all this nonsense. It just sounded kind of like too crazy to believe. Like I said, I don't know Brenda Song all that well. So who knows? Maybe she is like the craziest woman to ever walk the earth. I don't know. But that is kind of what started off this whole thing that we're about to get into. I literally just had to screen record on my phone 15 minutes of Trace Cyrus stories on Instagram. So this is going to be a fucking journey. This will probably take up most of the time we're on here today. And this was last week, I think on Thursday. I was going to do this a lot sooner, but I ended up being busy over the weekend. And then when it hit Monday, I just said, you know what, fuck it. We'll just save this for the live stream. So here we are. This all starts on a Thursday when Trace Cyrus decided to post about semen retention, seemingly out of the blue. Right? See, here's one of the things is that, like, a lot of what he's saying in this whole 15-minute barrage of Instagram stories, a lot of it is like perfectly fine stuff. You know, a lot of it is like, yeah, I've been working out. You know, I guess whatever you think about semen retention, I'm not really too sure what I think about that. I mean, at the end of the day, like not watching porn and jacking off all day is, of course, a better option. So, like, I will never, you know, if somebody tells me they're doing semen retention, I'll say, okay, that's cool. You know, I'm not going to bash it. I'd rather my buddy be doing semen retention than, you know, watching Riley Reid and Lana Rhoades all day. I think that's certainly better for you. But just the things that he's talking about, like I said, they're not bad. Like they're technically good things, you know. Like he's gonna start talking about you should be exercising and, you know, not watching porn and jacking off. And it's like, okay, right on, I'm with you. But it's kind of his delivery. There's another YouTuber that I watch called The Cozy Representative. He's done a lot of work on, you know, the old MySpace neon pop era stuff. I really like that guy's channel. And he said this when he was kind of responding to this whole Trace Cyrus like halfway crash out thing. That, you know, yeah, a lot of the things that he's saying are totally true and make sense, and I can totally get behind him, but it's his delivery on them and the fact that you're not really sure where this guy's head is at. So we're playing it. We're playing it. If the volume's all fucked up, let me know.
All right, guys, I want to give you a little behind the scenes into my life.
So yeah, it starts here. We start here. He just decides we're gonna do a tour of the apartment. Right, this is Trace Cyrus's apartment. We're just gonna. He just, yeah. I want to give you guys a tour of my life. According to him, he hadn't really been online all that much in the past before this, so this is where he's starting off at.
Because everybody seems to think I've lost my mind. Trace is telling the truth again. He's on drugs. He's lost it. Here's my apartment. I never really...
I guess that's what spurred this on. According to Trace, he's been getting comments and messages from people that think he's on drugs and he's lost his mind, which Trace, funnily enough, interprets as them saying, "Oh, he's telling the truth again." Like, about what? About semen retention? Like, I don't think... were people really freaking out about Trace Cyrus talking about semen retention? I think they might have thought it was a little bit goofy, but it might have been some other stuff you were saying.
Show you guys much of my apartment, but this is my studio room. This is where I track all the guitars, make all the beats, do all the producing.
He does have a badass apartment, I do have to say. This guy's living good. This guy's living good for sure. This, as we'll see, this pad is fucking sweet. I would like to take a trashy fucking girl back to this apartment, that's for sure.
I don't really like to write in here. I like to write in my living room. I have another studio in there. But this is just a little behind the scenes into my life. I just put that together like a couple days ago, new bench. This is a cool painting that was...
We're about to get into some funny stuff pretty quick here.
Given to me at a interview I did. It was a really cool painting in the background that was used.
So there it was. You get your first glimpse of just the Confederate flag, the giant Confederate flag hanging in his living room. And I have to tell you, and we'll get more into this because he's going to start showing it more and more. Bro, whatever you think of the Confederate flag, I gotta tell you, the way that Cyrus goes about this, the way that he handles this, like, handles the airing of the fact that he has a Confederate flag hanging in his living room, I have to say I respect it because he just doesn't say a fucking word about it. He had every opportunity to be like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, that's my Confederate flag," and, he was gonna launch into the fucking heritage, everyone goes on, "That's my heritage, blah, blah, blah." But no, he just doesn't say anything about it. And for some reason, I gotta be real, I dig that. I thought that was the best. He handled that the best way possible. Just doesn't say a fucking word about it. Like, just leaves you on that cliffhanger. The whole time you're watching this, every time you see that flag, you're gonna be going, "Is he gonna say something about it? Is he gonna address this? Is he gonna say why he has this?" And dude, I kinda like that he just doesn't say anything about it. Like, he's already talking about a bunch of other crazy shit. So, yeah, maybe he's just a Dukes of Hazzard fan. Maybe it's that simple. I gotta be real, I'm not one of those guys. I don't flinch when I see that, I'm a Pantera fan, right? Anyone that loves Pantera knows that you're gonna get your daily dose of the Confederate flag. It's just kind of the way it is, you know? So, I'm not one of those guys, I don't flinch when I see that shit. But I was just thinking it was funny because I know how the world is today.
If he's drinking his water. This is my little writing room right here.
We're gonna get a shot. I'm pretty sure this shot on what's on his computer screen is completely responsible for this, like what's going on with him right now. And we'll see it in a second, and I'll explain.
So yeah, I like to think I live a pretty just ordinary life
There it is.
among
He's watching Benny Johnson on YouTube in his living room right now. I do like his pad. Like I said, he's got a spot in his living room that's kind of walled off with sheets or blankets or whatever, one of them being the Confederate flag. But he's watching Benny Johnson on YouTube, who I've made fun of on the channel before. I think Benny Johnson, I think he's just a goofball. Nothing, like, not even anything against Benny Johnson's, conservative politics. I just think he's a goofball. I think he's probably only ever had sex with one woman in his life, and I'm sure he's married to her today. And awesome. That's great. I'm jealous, but, that usually makes for a fucking goofball. That's all I'm saying. But I think what's going on is I think Cyrus has been watching Benny Johnson and Michael Knowles, and he's probably been watching Matt Walsh. I think Cyrus is feeling inspired. That's what I think is going on. I think Cyrus has been watching conservative podcasters, and he's starting to feel inspired. And I think I'm right, because by the time we're done with this whole thing, we're gonna get to where this is all going.
ordinary people. I live in an apartment with, a lot of people around my age. I like to play chess by myself. I don't really hang out with a lot of people. I like to read the Bible. I like to play keyboard. I've been trying to learn and get better at the keyboard. That's something I like to do.
Him being lonely is kind of a big thing throughout this too. Like, he's going to talk about that a lot later, about how he's like alone. He doesn't hang out with anybody. He has no friends. But he's going to go in really hard on the fact that he likes it that way. And what I think is funny about that is, again, like I said, he's obviously been watching these conservative podcasters. All of the conservative podcasters went crazy when, God, who's that comedian? That blonde female comedian. I told you I can never remember names when I'm on stream. I think she's like an older lady. She has her own show. All right, whatever. I'm not going to remember in time. It's not Amy Schumer. Chelsea Handler. I think that's who. Okay, Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler put out a video sometime last year talking about how she's not married and she has no kids and she spends her days awake. She literally made a video saying she's so much happier being alone. She wakes up in the morning and she smokes pot and she masturbates and she goes back to bed. Right? It was pretty fucking goofy, let's be honest. But all of these conservative podcasters that Cyrus obviously likes, they all did like opinion pieces on this video that Chelsea Handler made and said, look how alone she is. She's overcompensating for this. She's trying to convince herself that she's happy by making these videos talking about how she's so much happier being alone. What she really wants is to be married and have kids. Well, then in this video, as we're going to see later on, Cyrus is going to start talking about how he's alone and he's happy. Believe me, guys, I'm lonely and I like it this way. I have no friends. I keep a small circle, all that stuff. So that part I do have to say I think is funny. Because like I said, Trace is watching these conservatives to talk about how you need to have family. And how you need to, yeah, Chelsea Handler, she is a total cornball. Like I said, she's a total goober. Everybody could do whatever they want. But I think she's like in her fucking 50s, like 40s or 50s. And she's talking about like smoking pot in the morning and like masturbating. And it's, to each their own. I just think that's kind of goober shit. But yeah, I had to point that out because like I said, Trace is going to talk a lot throughout this 15 minutes about how he's alone and how he likes it.
But yeah, this is my little writing room. All my books. But yeah, I really just like to stay to myself and read the Bible, play chess, work on my music. Here's my bedroom. Ashlyn's taking a little nap. My bedroom's basically a gym because all I care about is self-improvement. There's weights everywhere. I've never had a house cleaner ever, not one time in my life, come clean my place.
That part was funny. Like, who gives a fuck? Okay, like, you live in an apartment. Like, I would hope you don't need a house cleaner.
I maintain my life and everything myself. Here's like 1,000 pounds of plates right here. But yeah, I think I'm the best crackhead in the world if I'm a crackhead. There's my little second bathroom. I showed you guys the e-bike last night, but
I do like how he joked about, I guess people were telling him that he seems like a crackhead, and he makes that little joke, basically saying that he's not a crackhead, but then immediately shows us the bike that he's assembled in his bathroom. Like, there's nothing more crackhead than assembling a bike in your bathroom. If there's that literally the number one thing that crackheads do is assemble bikes in their bathroom. Nothing else tops that. So I'm not saying Cyrus is smoking crack, but I'm just saying, if you're convincing the world that you're not smoking crack, brother, showing us the bike that you've assembled in your bathroom is really not the way to do it.
E-bike last night, but this is my sauna. I basically turned this into like a locker room. My closet in my bedroom is pretty small, so like all my leather jackets and everything down here.
Dude, yeah, honestly, his pad's fucking tight. I wish I had a big enough bathroom that I could just keep all my jackets and like sweatshirts in and shit, because I got a lot of that shit that doesn't fit in my closet.
Hats, snapbacks, and tattoos. Snapbacks and tattoos. But yeah, I think I'm doing fine, guys. Nookie, tell them we're good over here, motherfuckers. Yeah. I just wanted to show you this, guys, because this...
Yeah, this part's corny as fuck. I don't know why he feels the need to show us how he got a long cord.
Gives you an idea of how crazy my brain works, but this computer has all like my main songs on it and everything, but I like to write in the other room, and I was getting sick of like writing on my laptop and then bringing the ideas into here, and like it was just fucking annoying. So I was like, how can I use this computer in the other room? And I was trying to like AirPlay it and try all these different wireless ways, and it was just lagging so bad. So I got like 100-foot fucking cable, and I went all the way back around here. You can see right across here, all across here, back here, back here, back here, back. And then it loops back to my TV. And so everything I'm controlling from out here is connected to the main studio computer. So I could be working on a song out here, go in there and have the same session and everything pulled up and be able to just go from room to room to work on songs.
Yeah, there's like a couple random parts in here where he just said like, yeah, oh, I got a really long cord to connect my computer in one room to my computer in another. Okay, like who gives a fuck? And he's like, that's how crazy my brain works. What, bro? I got a long cord connecting my router downstairs to my computer right here upstairs. It's also like 50 feet long. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand that part. But we do get another shot of Benny Johnson on the computer. I stopped it on a screen where it's blurry, but Benny Johnson is interviewing somebody about something that Trump did recently. And we do pass by the Confederate flag again a couple times, which, like I said, I gotta say, I respect the Trace Cyrus method of dealing with the fact that he's now showing the public that he has a giant Confederate flag in his living room. And that's just, don't say shit about it. Never once has he said anything about it. I'm sure people have commented on it and messaged him about it. But that's the one thing I gotta say. I admire the guy for. Just, I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'm glad that Trace Cyrus spared us the cheesy rant about how it's, what is it, like heritage, not hate, or something. That's usually like the default thing that those guys go to. I'm glad he didn't bust that out on us. But yeah, like I said, this Benny Johnson stuff, I think this is what's going on with him. I think he's been watching these podcasters, and I think he's feeling mighty inspired. There was a video he posted, I think it was like yesterday. I did not screen grab it, but Trace Cyrus did go on a full-blown, like, yelling rant about, he straight up was on Instagram saying, like, calling for Donald Trump to, he said these protesters that burn the American flag, their punishment should be the same thing. Like, literally saying that if you burn an American flag, we should bring you out into the town square and we should set you on fire. And he was like yelling about this shit. So that's what I think is going on. I think he's just feeling mighty inspired by these conservative podcasters, which is fine. You got to be inspired by something. If you're living in an apartment like this by yourself up on like the 26th floor and you're getting $100,000 checks in the mail every month for a song you wrote in 2007, yeah, fuck it, dude. Watch some Benny Johnson videos. What else are you gonna do? I'm not, like I said, I really can't consider this a crash out. I'm not, because like I said, he doesn't sound like he's drinking. He did show us a little bit of proof that he could be smoking crack by assembling a bike in his bathroom, but I don't think he's actually smoking crack. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something in the Cyrus blood. There's just something in running in a Cyrus bloodline. Even though Trace is adopted, he must have picked that up from his adopted father and his family. There's just something about those Cyruses that they're always doing some crazy shit and they're always inspired by something. I don't want to get copyrighted for this. That 1 second probably was already going to catch me, but I don't know. He does a couple, like he's singing Gucci songs or some shit. I don't know what's up with this guy. This guy's got terrible taste in music, though. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much right now. All right, we're back.
People are asking me my skincare routine. This is what I use on my body and my face and my hair. This is $1. Dove Sensitive. $1.
Someone's got to fact check that. Is Dove Sensitive actually $1?
This is what I use on my entire body and everything, okay?
Also, I gotta say, washing your hair with Dove bar soap is absolutely crazy. That's like one of the reasons that girls make fun of us. Guys, you gotta stop doing this. I don't know if he's being honest here or not. I don't know if he's just joshing. But, guys, I have seen this. Girls will continue to make fun of us if we keep posting videos talking about how we wash our hair with Dove bar soap. Stop that shit.
There. Your skin's gonna be perfect now. This is a message for my haters. If you're gonna insult me, you have to use something besides my looks to try to say there's something wrong with me and I'm unhealthy. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so now we're getting into closer to crash out stuff. Like, he's now responding directly to his haters, as he says. He even captioned it. Even my ability to speak is far superior than most. Like, now he's full in. I also think, along with being inspired by the conservative podcasters, I really think he's been keeping up with Ronnie Radke online. I really think he's trying to do the Ronnie Radke thing. Anybody that keeps up on Ronnie Radke knows that he's kind of also famous now for just like talking shit to people on the internet. Like, some people will comment shit or message him shit and he'll just roast the fuck out of him. And it's funny when Ronnie Radke does it, right? I think even if you're a fan of his music or not, like I've said, I'm not a fan of his music today. I liked him when he was in Escape the Fate, but I still keep up on him because he's funny, right? I think he's like an objectively funny guy. It's one of those things. You might not like his politics, you might not like his music, whatever. He's a funny guy. It's not hitting the same for Trace Cyrus. Like, it's really not hitting the same. For one, Ronnie Radke, he's still like undeniable. He just put out that song with Marilyn Manson a couple weeks ago. It's almost at like 10 million views on YouTube. It's like doing crazy numbers on streaming. So like he's kind of undeniable, you know. Trace, it's, you know, as much as I hate to say it, it's like, bro, you haven't had a successful song since 2007. So it's not gonna hit the same. Yeah, no, he's definitely doing the Ronnie Radke thing. But like I said, it's not, you know, Ronnie Radke can talk shit to somebody and say, "Hey, look at the song I dropped 2 weeks ago. It's got 10 million views." Trace is gonna say, "Yeah, I dropped the song in 2007. It's got 10 million views." You know, which like again, still awesome. You know, I wish I wrote a fucking song in 2007 that got me money still sent in the mail today. But it's just not the same. It's not gonna hit the same when you're in Trace Cyrus's shoes. But I do get the feeling that he's been keeping up with, and I think they did a song together like years ago. I think they did a song. They might have done a song together a long time ago. You know, so you at least know that he's aware of, you know, Ronnie Radke. So that's why I think he's trying to play the Ronnie Radke book here, but it's just not going to work. And he's also just not as funny. Ronnie is just like a naturally funny dude.
I literally look fucking incredible. I can't even walk down the street without girls breaking their fucking necks to look at me.
Okay, now we're getting into full-on cringe material. I can't even walk down the street without girls breaking their necks to look at me. Brother, you don't say that. Like you can keep track of that, right? If that is true, that when you walk down the street you notice girls looking at you, that's fine, that's awesome. But you don't say that. First of all, let's just be real, that doesn't happen. Let's just be honest here. That's not happening. Yeah, you know, I won't say it's for sure not happening. You know, it is fucking Trace Cyrus. Like the guy is you know, he is a name, and he looks better than anyone that's gonna watch me on this fucking live stream. That's for sure. But come on, you just don't talk like that. You don't say that. You don't tell people that girls are breaking their necks looking at me. Oh my god.
I'm almost 40 years old. I look fucking great for my age. Here's the reason I look 10 years younger than I actually am, is because I don't give a fuck about nothing. When I'm going on these rants and I'm all passionate and you guys think I'm at home like stressed out, I actually don't give a fuck. And that's why it doesn't show in my face. Nothing bothers me. I don't let shit stress me.
I don't give a fuck. But here's 15 straight minutes of Instagram stories directly responding to the haters. Yeah, they could be looking at him for the tattoos. Trace has been this tattooed since like 2010 too. Like he has really been in this shit, and he mentions this too at some point. It might be in stories that I don't have saved in this batch. But he's like, yeah, I guess people have been now trying to say that he's ripping off like the Ronnie Radke or Machine Gun Kelly look. And Trace Cyrus does rightfully respond and say, no, I've been this tattooed since fucking 2010. He's gonna say, he will get back into semen retention too. That is gonna come back up. Right now, he's just in full-on cornball mode, though, doing the whole like, I don't give a fuck about the haters. Even though we're like fucking, we're not even 5 minutes into this 15 straight minutes of Instagram stories. This was all on Thursday. Like, if you can see the bars at the top, just straight up all on a Thursday. This guy just drops all of this and then decides to tell us, oh, well, I actually don't give a fuck. I do have to say, I hate the way he cusses too. You know, I cuss a lot, I say fuck a lot, but I hate the guys that really emphasize the fuck. You know, you don't emphasize the word. Like he does the whole, I think he does it a lot more later too. You know, where the word fuck, like they emphasize it. Like you're in 7th grade and you're like excited to say it. And it just sounds cheesy. He's a cheesy cusser, if that's a thing.
Me out. I'm in control of my reality and my life, and no one's gonna ever fuck with that.
There it was, right? No one's ever gonna fuck with that. Like, okay, bro, I get it. You said the fuck word. You don't need to you don't need to punch me in the face with it. Like, I understand it. I get it. You cussed. It's all good. Calm down.
And also, I want everyone to know I've lost thousands of followers over the past few days because I say shit in a way that is true, but it pisses people off, and a lot of people cannot handle it. So right now, we're weeding out all the pussies. All the pussies are getting off my page, and it's a fantastic thing. But this just shows how authentic I am to myself. I don't care who unfollows me. I don't want people to be here who have delusional mindsets and mentalities that are not like mine. Get the fuck out. I don't need you here. And here's another truth I'm going to say. If I didn't speak this way and I wasn't as masculine as I am, if I fucking painted my nails and dressed all fucking homosexual like a lot of these artists, you know what I'm talking about, I'd have a record deal and I'd be one of the fucking biggest artists. I'm better than all these motherfuckers out there. I'm a better fucking songwriter.
All right, yeah, so it's funny to hear him talk about if he dressed all homosexual when you know who Metro Station is. You're like, bro, you were the prettiest boy of the pretty boys in like 2007. For people that don't remember Metro Station as vividly as I do, Trey Cyrus's job, his role in that band, right, was on paper, he was the guitar player and kind of the backup vocalist. When you saw Metro Station live, Trey Cyrus's whole thing was taking his shirt off and like singing to the 16-year-old girls in the front row. Like that was basically his thing. I mean, he was fucking Trey Cyrus, dude. So I gotta say, it's funny to hear him make fun of people for dressing homosexual, as he would put it. And then, yeah, here's when he's gonna start getting into like, I'm a superstar and all these record labels want to sign me. And it's like, man, I really don't want to just like start hating on his music. But, you know, like I said, Cowgirl Ride was a god awful song. That's embarrassed. I would play that shit right now. I just don't want to. I don't want to. You know, I don't. It would get muted anyways once this video uploads. But, you know, it's like, dude, you haven't put out a good song since like 2007 or 8. Metro Station had a song in like 20 something called Married in Vegas that I kind of liked. But he's, you know, he's definitely overestimating himself musically right now. And he will the rest of the time we're on here. Anytime Trey Cyrus starts talking about his music and record labels wanting to sign him, is overestimating himself.
I'm more fucking unique in all aspects of my life. I'm better looking. It's fucking true. So fuck off with all this shit trying to compare me to other people when I've been around way longer than all these other motherfuckers and they all jacked my fucking style. So fuck off with that shit.
The fake angriness, I think, is kind of funny too. Like, he's not mad. I don't know why he's trying to act like he's mad. If he is mad, then it is more concerning. Like, that's the thing. If this anger that you hear in his voice right now is genuine, that does not help his cause of trying to convince us that he's not smoking crack. You know, you just showed us that you assembled a full electric bicycle in your bathroom right after telling us that you're not a crackhead. But now you're angry. You're by yourself in your apartment talking to your phone and you're mad. So which one is it? Are you mad and you're smoking crack, or are you pretending to be mad because you're just cheesy, because you're tacky?
Don't you guys find it odd that Diddy is known for being the president of
You don't even know where he's going at this point. Like, he was just giving us a tour of his apartment. First, he was talking about semen retention, and then giving us a tour of his apartment, and now he's talking about the Diddy thing? Like, what's going on with the Diddy thing?
Bad Boy Records. And nobody he has signed in like the past fucking 10 years I've heard of, except for one guy, MGK. That's the only person I know that Diddy signed in the past fucking decade or so. Fucking ridiculous. What did he do after he signed to Diddy? He got with a girl who has 3 trans children. They're all trans somehow. Is it 3 or 4? 3 or 4. All of her kids are trans. That's the woman that he thought was the best woman that he should be with. That's going to be a great mother for my future child. You're very smart, brother. Great job. Bro, if you're like me and you're entertaining, you speak with like charisma, personality, like you know how to talk to entertain people, people will be like, oh my God, you're manic, you're schizo, you're bipolar. No, I just want people to be entertained.
You'll notice I had to add a little censor bar up here at the top because one of my buddies kept sending me reels on Instagram. So yeah, Trace's defense for like the way he's talking is that he's so authentic and entertaining that people are accusing him of being schizo and on crack. It's like, well, no, actually, there's a lot of people that talk for a living that are entertaining and authentic, and people don't accuse them of being schizo or on crack. Like, you got to look inward at that point. You know, people love to listen to Steve Irwin talk. I don't think people ever thought Steve Irwin was on crack or any kind of schizophrenic. you know, most podcasters today, people don't think they're schizophrenic or on cracks. People might not like their political views, but yeah, that's funny that that's kind of his defense, right? Like, the reason you think I'm crazy is because I'm so entertaining and authentic.
I could sit here and talk like a boring piece of shit if I wanted to. What good does that do for anybody? That would be fucking stupid, okay?
Here we go. Here's where we get into my theory about him watching political podcasters and watching Benny Johnson. Should I start a podcast? I bought all the equipment 2 years ago, still haven't used it. Sometime later on the next day, I think he posted something about how he would rather do a live stream because he doesn't feel like doing all the editing, which is funny because that's kind of why I've been doing a lot of live streams too. But this will also transform into a new goal that we'll get to once this barrage of stories is over. He posted something earlier today that I think will tell us more about where he thinks he's going. But as of right now, last week on Thursday, he's talking about starting a podcast or doing a live stream.
You see bands like Rage Against the Machine
Then he just reposted this random kid.
and Green Day say, fuck the establishment. Then a minute later, they're like, oh, vote for my fucking candidate. Listen to the establishment. They want to put something in your fucking vein. There's actually a fucking dope word for that, mate. It's called hypocrisy. It's become more punk and counterculture to be considered.
Why is it that when I tell the truth about people doing like evil, crazy shit, people try to twist it on me and be like, Trace is having a manic episode? What? These people did some fucking crazy shit and I did nothing to them and I'm the crazy one?
I don't know what he's talking about when he says, I'm trying to tell people about other people doing evil, crazy shit. Bro, you just gave us a tour of your apartment. Like, that's all that's happened so far. What have you been talking about? Exposing people for doing evil, crazy shit. You've literally just given us a tour of your apartment.
Okay, that makes fucking sense. The craziest part too is like all the people that try to shit talk other people and like give them life advice, they all look like shit. It's like, bro, if you want to fucking motivate people to be like you have to be someone worthy of respect. Like, I don't fucking respect your bitch ass. You're fucking out of shape.
I'm a sucker for the words bitch ass being put together. That is a favorite of mine. If you're gonna say anything, put the words bitch and ass together and you've got my attention. I gotta give him that there. Calling anybody a bitch ass is like top quality shit to me. I don't know why those words just go so well together.
Your fucking face looks fucking gross. Your hair looks like shit. Like, get your fucking self together and then maybe I might respect you a little.
Also, keep in mind, this guy telling you that your hair looks like shit just told us like 2 minutes ago that he washes his hair with Dove bar soap. So if this guy's saying that to you, you really got to think about how your hair looks, because that's crazy shit.
Bit to maybe just consider your opinion. And then when people can't insult my looks, they'll try to be like, oh, well, you just leech off of your family. You've accomplished nothing. It's like, bro, I have one of the biggest fucking songs of all time. Literally, Shake It to this day is still one of the most used songs on TikTok. I get money just sent to me in the mail. I don't even have to work. I don't have to go to the gym or do fucking anything. I hustle every day because I'm a fucking hustler. But I really could just lay around, do fucking drugs, get blowjobs, and not do shit if
The whole Shake It in Metro Station part, that is true. Like I was saying earlier, he really could just do nothing. But that's what he's doing. Again, he just gave us a tour of his apartment and said, all I do is sit around and read the Bible and play chess by myself and play keyboard. Now he's talking about how he's hustling. You know, maybe this is a full-blown crash out. Maybe I'm trying to be too nice to this guy because I liked his album back in like 2007. Maybe this is a crash out. Maybe I can retitle this video like full-blown Trace Cyrus is crashing out. Because now he's talking about how he's hustling every day. Like, I thought you were just playing chess by yourself every day. You just said like 5 minutes ago that all you do is read the Bible and play chess. Now all of a sudden he's a hustler?
if I wanted to. I hustle every fucking day because I'm a fucking man and I'm here to conquer the motherfucking world. So fuck off with that shit. Also, I just want to clarify because I had a bunch of DMs of people being like, you're growing weed. This is a grow tent. Guys, this is an actual fucking infrared sauna. I'm not growing weed in my fucking apartment, okay? Jesus. This is literally a sauna. This is the red light therapy on top. These panels right here is what heats it up.
This looks pretty badass. This is some shit that if I was a millionaire, this is some shit I would waste my money on. A sauna, an infrared sauna just in my fucking bathroom. That just sounds tight.
A lot of people think that you can't get an infrared sauna like this. There's only steam, but this is the most affordable infrared sauna you can get. And everyone that's like confused of how I just have so much energy and can go on these rants and everything. I told you guys last night I practice semen retention. The reason all your boyfriends and all the guys you know are all like lethargic, weak men is because they don't do this. This is the reason that it seems like I'm on fucking drugs, because I don't release my seed. This
Oh, this is probably the best part. Is Trey Cyrus talking about keeping his seed? He's not releasing his seed. That's why he's crashing out, because he's not releasing his seed, I guess is his logic.
This literally replenishes my body and my brain. It literally gives you fucking superpowers. You feel like a fucking god. I'm not lying. The craziest shit I've noticed about all this is I haven't eaten anything today. I haven't had not a bite of food, and I feel completely fine. You barely have to eat when you're practicing semen retention. Your body actually stores the nutrients properly. You barely have to sleep. Like, you feel like you should sleep because you've spent your whole life sleeping, but you have so much energy, you're just like, I don't need to sleep. It's fucking crazy, guys. And the third thing I've noticed that I had to Google this because I was just like, what the fuck is going on, is my body odor has completely changed. Like, no matter how much deodorant I put on, I just have that musty smell, but it doesn't smell bad. Like, it's a sweet smell.
I don't think musty is ever a word I would use to describe how I smell. Like, intentionally, right? I don't know. What is let's look up the definition of the word musty. Is having a stale, moldy, or damp smell. So he's telling us that because of semen retention, no matter how much deodorant he puts on, he smells stale, moldy, or damp. But it's a sweet kind of musty smell. I don't know. I don't know if he knows that that's like the definition of the word musty, but that's the word he used.
It smells completely different than my body odor usually smells. So it's my pheromones being built up and finally releasing properly, because in this society, all these guys and girls too are going to these dirty sites, having sex whenever they want, and men are just, they're ejaculating and releasing their cum whenever the fuck they want. I know this is like a
Oh, these guys are releasing their cum. I love the way he's talking about it, like it's like someone's dog on a leash or something. I don't even know. But yeah, all these guys are releasing their, oh my God.
sensitive subject, and I feel even kind of weird talking about this, guys, but this should be shared, I think, because this has transformed my life in more profound ways than I could ever explain. This is so much more profound than when I quit drinking alcohol. It's fucking insane. You know, we all have like a good angel and a bad angel, and like the bad angel on my shoulder is actually telling me like, don't share this, like keep this to yourself, because this is a fucking life hack, guys. Like, if you are able to do this as a man, you are so far ahead of the average man, it's not even fucking funny. So like, I almost didn't even want to share this secret because a lot of people just don't know about this, but it would be wrong of me not to. This has been the most profound thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm never going back. And I'm convinced, a lot of you might not know, but the mental health crisis with men, the suicide rate with men is out of fucking control. And I am convinced this is the reason. Because
Trey Cyrus has figured out the issue. Right. Like, now this guy's telling us that the reason the suicide rate is so high with young men is straight up because of semen retention. And too many guys are releasing their cum, as he would word it. Yeah, this was literally all on Thursday. Like, this was just Thursday, last week. No holidays, nothing going on. Trey Cyrus is just dropping the secrets to how to stop so many young men from offing themselves just on a random Thursday in June.
Because we have been taught, even in school, that this was okay. It's healthy to masturbate. No, it's fucking not.
So I remember health class in high school. That part I always thought that was funny. I remember health class in high school. I don't think they like told us that jacking off was like healthy. I wasn't the greatest student. I wasn't paying attention too much, but I don't think I remember our teacher saying like, "Hey, jacking off is healthy." Maybe I went to school at a different time than Trace Cyrus. He's definitely older than me. If any young people stumble upon excuse me, if any young people stumble upon this video, let me know if your health teacher ever told you that jacking off is healthy. Because yeah, I don't remember that being said to us.
You don't fucking need to do it at all. You can still have sex with your partner on semen retention. This does not affect your sex life at all. It actually improves the woman's sex life because now it makes the man's job to satisfy the woman, and once the woman is satisfied, his job is done. Guys, if you're part of the press and you're reaching out to me to do an interview or something, I'm not going to talk to you because I don't trust your ass. You guys lie about everything. And of course, you're going to try to make me, the crazy looking fucking guy, look fucking crazy. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not falling into your bullshit. The only person I would talk to is Joe Rogan or Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire. That's it.
Right there. That part is a funny part to me, too. Apparently, according to Trace, people are reaching out to him to interview him. I'm sure because they're noticing this 15 minutes of stories that he's posting on a daily basis now, and they want to know, hey, what's the deal? Why are you talking about semen retention and giving tours of your apartment and building bikes in your bathroom? And he just out of nowhere says the only people I would ever talk to are Joe Rogan and Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire. And I have to say, I would love to see Trace Cyrus talk to Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire. That sounds like the funniest thing I could ever find on YouTube. I would watch that like 4 times if that was an interview, if that happened. I don't think Michael Knowles would. I think Michael Knowles will probably stay the fuck away from this maniac. Michael Knowles probably wants nothing to do with Trace Cyrus. But I think that'd be grade A entertainment. I think that'd be the funniest thing we ever see is Michael Knowles and Trace Cyrus talking about semen retention.
Here's how the interview would go anyway. It'd be like, well, why'd you say this? I'd be like, because it was true. And it'd be like, well, why'd you come forward now and say it? Because I felt like it. Like, what? I do whatever the fuck I want. That's why. Okay. It's still hilarious to me that you guys think, like, I'm fucking bothered by anything going on in my life. Do you not realize that I'm just smart as fuck? I haven't been on Instagram in 5 weeks. My page is about to hit.
Notice that part. He tells us right now that, again, this is on a Thursday, that he hasn't been on Instagram in 5 weeks. But he just told us like 2 or 3 minutes ago that he's been losing thousands of followers for the past few days because of all this, because he's been telling the truth so much online. So I think, is that not a contradiction? He just kind of got caught up in. He told us he told us he told us he's been losing thousands of followers because he's just been telling so much truth. But then he tells us he hasn't been online in 5 weeks. It's like, well, which one is it?
5 million views, and I've been online for 4 days in the past fucking literally like it says the past 30 days on Instagram you've had 4.5 million views, and I've been online for 4 days of the past 30 days. I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing, guys. I'm not stupid. Like, you all fall into the trap and then think like I'm sitting here like losing my shit at home. I'm literally chilling with my dogs, playing chess, watching fucking YouTube. Everything's fucking fine. I'm just watching the numbers go up and up. I know what the fuck I'm doing. The best part about it all is like I sleep good at night because everything I said is 100% facts and true. So my conscience is clear. I feel great about myself and life is good.
Then he posts a picture of himself playing chess, drinking Pedialyte. I hate how I play videos off of my Dropbox, but his chessboard is really weird. Like I know I can't zoom in to show more, but the chess pieces don't look right. Like some of them you straight up can't tell like the pawns and the bishops apart. It's not this picture, but there's another picture that he posted later on that I really doubt that he knows how to play chess, because he posted a picture later on where, like, if you look at the chess pieces and the places they're in, it doesn't look like a realistic game of chess being played. Like I said, this picture looks fine as far as where the pieces are, but Yeah, there was one picture he posted in a whole separate barrage of stories on a different day where the chess pieces did not look like a game being played, basically. It just looked like somebody scattered the pieces around, you know, trying to make it look like he knew what he was doing. Let me try to avoid that copyright too. Another clip. He's just dancing around in his apartment by himself, feeling great, being the smartest guy in the world, not releasing his seed. I don't know. So far, this has not been the greatest sell for semen retention. You know, like this. I don't think this is going to be convincing anybody to practice semen retention. Jesus, hurry up, man.
I swear, it makes people so sick that I can just be alone by myself and just have the best fucking time and not need anybody. Like, we've always been taught our whole lives that, like, we need to be a part of, like, a social circle and community. But I've just never been able to find people that were, like, up to par with my standards of the morals and values I have in this world. So I've really just had to isolate myself and
That's why he's alone. Right, that's why Cyrus is alone. Like I mean, this guy literally just told us that he's too good for everybody. He literally just told us that he's alone in his apartment playing chess, drinking Pedialyte, dancing around to bad music because he is too good for everybody. He's never met a person who is as good as him.
Since I've done that, my life has just improved in the best ways possible, and I've been happier than I've ever been before. So all that shit about, like, find your little circle and friends and you gotta be around other people to be happy. No, you fucking don't. I'm happy as fuck. Like, nobody's here. I'm having a blast. This is great. No drama. It's great.
Then he posts a screenshot. It looks like somebody messaged him and said, when you become enlightened, the masses call it insanity. Yeah, I guess there's people that are down.
Love people as I meet them one by one.
And then he posts,
just wonderful as individuals.
Is this that George Carlin guy? I don't know who this is, but I see this guy being posted around a lot by, you know, people that are like Cyrus. So, again, not really the greatest sell for this guy, but
You see the whole universe in their eyes if you look carefully. But as soon as they begin to group, as soon as they begin to clot, when there are 5 of them or 10, or even groups as small as 2, they begin to change. They sacrifice the beauty.
All right, and this is the last one. This is it. This is over. For this barrage. I've got a couple more things. No label, no manager, no publicist, no assistant, just me. Yeah, Protomax, if you're right, that would make sense. He's like crying out for help about his loneliness, and then he posted, you know, no label, no manager, no publicist. What he's really saying is, I need a label, I need a manager, I need a publicist, I need an assistant. Yeah, fucking A, an entire 15 minutes worth of stories just on a random Thursday. And so after that, you know, like I said, that goes on for days. I mean, that's still going on today. But I noticed there's a couple more stories that he posted earlier today, I think it was, that I screen grabbed just to like conclude where I think this might be going. Let me find him. I've got him up here. Oh no, so the next day after that, he posted another story that basically said my page is going private in the morning. So if you don't already follow me and want to see my content, so that is another funny thing, is that he's considering, like, now, like, I guess he's a content creator in his mind. Like, that whole 15 minutes was like his content. He says, if you want to see my content, I suggest you follow me now, because once it goes private, it's going to take me forever to start approving people one by one. So hit that follow button now if you're entertained and want to see my content, because if not, you're going to miss it. I follow him, so I don't know if he did private his page or not. But according to him, the Cyrus Instagram should be private by now. I, of course, somehow doubt that that's true. But earlier today, he posted a story that said, let me see. He posted a story that was just writing, like he wrote this out. He wrote out, I've cried so much this past week, literally not sad at all, happier than I've ever been in my entire life. The Lord is finally cleansing me, and it feels amazing. Don't be scared to cry. Anything not meant to be in your body will naturally release when you don't fight against it. So then, this is where I think it's all going, basically. He posted this earlier today. Let me get this. I'll just pull this one up on screen because I might as well. Yeah. So earlier today, he posted, Jesus has called upon me to start a church. I will spend the next 10 years getting my music to the masses, studying the Bible, and getting the finances together. The 10 years that follow, I will start a movement of Christians that will bring an entire new view to what people assume you must be like to be accepted by Christ. I thought I was broken beyond repair. I thought the best years of my life were behind me. It was all a lie constructed by the devil to not allow me to live up to my true potential. I'm starting this here now to declare it to be true. Oh, no, I'm stating this here now to declare it to be true. Sorry, I can't read anything on my monitor, I swear. That I will start a movement of Christians that will gain attention from the entire world. That part's kind of crazy. I will start a movement of Christians that will gain attention from the entire world. This guy better not be starting a cult bigger than Disco Acid Cult TV. The Instagram is not private. Yeah, no, I knew it wasn't going to be private. He just wanted more followers, which is, whatever. I guess be a hustler, brother. I've made a promise to God. If he provides me with the finances to pull this off, then it will be achieved. I will self-fund it completely. No bulls will ever be passed around for money. The Lord's love is free, and I'm certain he will make this happen. So again, yeah, earlier today, Cyrus wants to start a church. He's going to start a church that will gain attention from the world, according to him. Who knows if he actually does that, or who knows if he just start a YouTube channel. Like, it sounds like all of this would be fine. Like, just start a YouTube channel. That's all you got to do, Trace. Just make a YouTube channel, talk about stuff, respond to this video. Actually, Trace Cyrus, please do that. Take this video, this live stream, and respond to this. I would rather you just do that than try to start a church. We're gonna get the Church of Shake It, the Church of 17 Forever, which, by the way, was a Metro Station song off the first album about hooking up with a 17-year-old girl. And it's like not even for as much as I love that band and that song was crazy. Like how the lyrics were. The situation of the song, it sounds like whoever wrote the lyrics was probably 18 and the girl was 17. But regardless, yeah, the Church of Metro Station. I swear there's another screenshot I took of a story from his that I forgot to put on my computer. Maybe not though. Let me just go to his fucking Instagram right now. That's what I'll do. Oh my god. 2 hours ago, he posted, "Does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? I never planned on becoming some obsessed Jesus freak, but I was just thinking that my first tattoo ever was Bible scripture across my chest. Then I continued to cover my body with religious tattoos, a cross with a quote from the Lord's Prayer across my throat, my torso covered in Catholic artwork, the cross on my face, Jesus' portrait on my foot and thigh, and the list goes on. I was not following the Lord then like I am now. I grew up in and around the church my entire upbringing because of my grandmother dragging me there against my will. It became almost a cool story to me rather than a complete guide on how I should live my life. I'm an old man now." I'm glad that Trace is the only guy that's honest about how we're all old. Trace is definitely older than me, but if you're fucking 30, you got to stop acting like you're young. People need to stop doing that shit. I'm an old man now compared to when I got that very first tattoo of Bible scripture across my chest on my 18th birthday, but it was almost like I was inking my destiny on me without even knowing it, because I now have become one of those Jesus freaks that used to make me cringe, but I can't help it. I want everyone to experience this truly unconditional love. All right, so earlier today he posted a bunch of Jesus stuff. All right, let's see. He talked about dreams. One of the things that's funny is that Trace Cyrus talked about how dreams, like where we are when we're dreaming, he thinks we're in some like actual like spiritual place that's like close to God. And one of the things he reposted as proof of this, Protomax, you'll think this is hilarious. He reposted Hulk Hogan did an interview where he said that 2 days after Roddy Piper died, that he got a text message from Roddy Piper, and it was like a voice text message, and it was Roddy Piper saying something about like how I'm up in heaven now. And Trace was saying this is proof that there is like a God and spiritual, which I'm not saying that's not true, but Hulk Hogan as your source for anything is a huge mistake. So that really didn't help. Trace reposted that interview and said, I keep talking about miracles. Here's a perfect example of God showing us he's real. Like, no, brother, you just posted a video of Hulk Hogan making some shit up. He did not get a text message from Roddy Piper 2 days after he died. Like, Hulk Hogan even cried in that interview. Like, that was a big mistake on his part. Oh, and then Trace posted, yeah, Hulk Hogan, the utmost source of honorable stories. Trace then posted, a lot of you seem to find that explanation of dreams pretty interesting, referring to one of his older videos. He says, this is crazy, but that is nothing compared to what I'm going to tell you about UFOs. So now Trace Cyrus is getting into UFOs. I'm going to try and break down the UFO experiences soon that I've been having lately. So Trace Cyrus has been experiencing UFOs lately. I've been doing more research into other people who have been experiencing the same thing. So I think it's best I talk with some of them to try and get somewhat of a better understanding of what's going on before I try to explain it to you guys. Obviously, there will be no exact conclusion of what these things are, but I'm going to try my best to give you guys theories on what they might be. I will definitely give you a detailed description of my sightings dating back to 2010. So Trace Cyrus is going to get into UFOs. That's going to be some interesting shit for sure. Yeah, Roddy Piper in heaven thinking I got to text got to text the Hulkster. Got to send him a voice memo. Trace then posted a video about grounding. I guess there's a theory about how you look at like old canes that men used to use. The canes were made out of metal and wood, and that was to connect us to the ground, to connect us to Earth. But now canes have rubber tips, which disconnects you from Earth. Even, I guess, shoes. I guess back in the day, they said shoes used to have like natural things in them to help connect you to the Earth instead of the rubber soles we have today. I'm sure there's something behind that, but it sounds like hippie stuff generally. Then he posts a video of, I think he's smoking weed. Straight up, like, then Trace Cyrus just posted a video of himself smoking a joint with his dog out and about. So, like, that's good. That's the guy you want to hear about Jesus and UFOs from, a guy who's smoking weed. Then Trace Cyrus posts, I want every record label to know I have no interest in signing a deal. Unless it was a multi-million-dollar deal, I would never even consider it. I'm an undeniable superstar, and anyone who tries to fool themselves and think otherwise is completely delusional. My energy and personality speaks for itself. Seriously, go listen to Cowgirl Ride by Trace Cyrus. It's the worst song you've ever heard in your fucking life. He then says, people fail to realize I've isolated myself for years from the world, locked up alone in the studio, perfecting my craft and stockpiling songs. Again, go listen to Cowgirl Ride. waiting patiently for my time, strategizing and playing the long game. What I'm about to do in the music industry will never be able to be replicated. There is no artist in the world that wants it as bad as I do, and now I have Christ on my side, so I'm destined to win. Again, go listen to Cowgirl Ride. But the thing is, I don't need anybody. I've already made it. So don't even consider hitting my line unless it's such a ridiculous amount of money that I would be an idiot to say no. So he's just straight up saying, unless you're going to offer me $1 million, don't bother. Once again, Cowgirl Ride by Cyrus. He did post an article that's kind of funny. I guess there's a Brazilian tribe that has just filed a 180 million. This might be old news. There's a tribe in Brazil that sued Elon Musk for $180 million because Elon Musk gave this tribe in Brazil Starlink that gave them access to high-speed internet, and all the dudes in the tribe became addicted to porn. And so now they're blaming Elon Musk and they're suing him for $180 million, which is like, talk about absolute lack of accountability. Literally, like if I tried to sue AT&T because I was watching too much porn and I blamed it on them. Yeah, I'm sure the grounding thing is just kind of like hippie shit, which I think is cool, but like, yeah, there's probably not much science. But yeah, that is one take I'll accept from Cyrus. That's ridiculous that this Brazilian tribe is blaming Elon Musk. Like Elon Musk brings them the internet for free. Hey guys, here's the internet. And then they all get addicted to porn and now they want to sue him. Right? This fucking absolute third world trash tribe. I have no idea what tribe it is or whatever, but I feel confident saying that just based on the fact that as soon as you get internet, the first thing your people do is get addicted to porn, and then you lack the accountability. So you try to sue the fucking guy that gave you the internet. Yeah, I got no problem saying that your tribe is probably trash if that's how you're going about handling your business. I don't think that's a hot take at all. And if you do think that's a hot take, you're probably also a fucking pornography whatever scoundrel your fucking self. That's ridiculous. Yeah, he posts some more Jesus stuff. He's not, or he says he's been sober for 2 years. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all the Cyrus crash out stuff we got. Well, like I said, I started this off with, I don't think it's a crash out because I have a soft spot for the guy. He was in Metro Station, loved the first album. But after actually watching all that, dude, I might consider it a full-blown crash out. Like, that was pretty crazy. Like, if I got on here and just started ranting about semen retention and then gave you a tour of my room and my Confederate flag and then started talking about how I'm an undeniable superstar, and like, I would hope you guys would be concerned about me too. I would hope somebody would be saying like, hey brother, I think you might be crashing out. And I said I will crash out once I hit, if I make it, if I get a lot of subscribers, like if I even hit like fucking 100K subscribers in my life, I'll deliver a crash out. But if I'm like right now sitting at like 650 subscribers and I crash out, I would hope somebody would be concerned for me. Jesus, man. All right, well, I don't think I have anything else. That was all I got. It's hot in my room. I don't feel like sitting here anymore. I don't think I'll end up streaming later this week. I've been back to 1 day a week. I need to get back to more, but who knows? I probably won't end up streaming later this week. But like I said, I will next week. I don't know what day I'll be on. I know it won't be Wednesday because, like I said, I got that thing planned. Yeah, the bike in the bathroom. To me, that's the biggest evidence. That's the biggest evidence of his crash out. I get that he lives in an apartment, you know, like he probably doesn't have a garage or whatever, but you don't put your bike together in the bathroom. Like do that shit in the living room, you know. Do that shit in your bedroom. Fucking putting a bike together in the bathroom. Dude, there's literally nothing more crackhead than putting a bike together in a bathroom. Like nothing at all. I mean, taking the bike apart, you could say might be one step above it, right? Taking the bike apart in your bathroom, but assembling the bike in your bathroom. You know, it's like a 1A and 1B situation. They're both right up there at the top in the first spot. But yeah, fucking it. That is Trey Cyrus's crash out on fucking Instagram. Next week, like I said earlier in the stream, next week on Wednesday, I'll be interviewing the singer. I'm not going to say who it is yet. I'll probably post about it on Instagram sometime later this week. Once we do the interview on Wednesday, yeah, you know, I'll edit it if I need to. I'll try to post it, I don't know, like on the weekend. When I say that, I'll post it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you know. There's no schedule here. I don't really care about anything. But I'll post it as soon as it gets edited. How about that? That's the way I'll put it. I guess anything else I need to post here, I could post it on the tabs on the YouTube channel. I keep forgetting that you can post on the YouTube channel, like actually post in the posts section. So yeah, I'll post updates there. But fuck it. Yeah, for now I'm gonna get out of here. So thanks for hanging out to anybody who was here hanging out.
And we're all here today to groove and have a beautiful time together, and that it's only the beginning. Sometimes I think I'm drunk, and then I realize I am drunk. Sometimes I think I'm drunk, and then